you to that moment of deep silence, that path to truth, hope, and courage. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Mm,
Just, just a few days ago, we were together in a program that was looking at embedding the participation of children, adolescent children. And in the midst of the dialogue, one of the young people said, I would like to take more responsibility for my world. That courage, that thought, that framework is something that I want to bring to us. That faith that I can, I will, and I must do more for our children in this world. We have, as Ornella said, come together as individuals and institutions to pray together. But what is even more important is that we have not stopped at prayer. We have found in our collective coming together the courage to also act, and therefore, appropriately, for the last 17 years, we have called it the Day of Prayer and Action for Children, lifting the 20th of November, a milestone in the history of the world where we decided and declared that the rights of children are universal and each of us are bearers of that right. Across the world today, we are seeing that our children are growing up amidst crisis, overlapping crisis that affects their daily lives, but also affects in the way that they progress to the next stage of their life, whether it is from early childhood to middle childhood to adolescence, or from childhood to adulthood. It is therefore our responsibility that children should not only grow with the best that we can offer them, but children can also continue to be active participants, working alongside with us in shaping their present and their future. Keeping faith in children means recognizing their wisdom and their determination to rebuild trust in the midst of what we are seeing, the overlapping crises, the polycrisis, as some may call it. This evening, we are gathered here as families, as educators, as faith leaders, indeed as a community of people who would like to rekindle their empathy, our shared solidarity, and our actively constructed hope to do something more positive, more active, more responsive for the well being of children. It is our joy, it is our honor that for 17 years we have on this day not only paused for prayers, interfaith prayers, but we have also reconnected with the rights of children, the Convention on the Rights of the Child, finding in it inspiration as we unify our strength of faith and collective action. We in India had the honor of having and hosting the World Day of Prayer and Action for Children. So many institutions thanked us for convening them in a way that was most inspiring. I do know in 2025, this coming together will not only be inspirational, but it will also be something that will drive us to think beyond the ordinary, to think about how we can do more together for that child who wants to see not only a peaceful today and a peaceful tomorrow, but for that child who has kept faith in every layer of their lived experience. Together, may we find this evening the patience, but also the strength to listen to one another, to see what we can do together throughout the year, in the coming years, and in the decades that will show that this resolve to be together is a promise that we keep for a long, long time. May I end with the words that have always kept me company. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnam Dachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That wholeness, that wholesomeness, that holistic development that we aspire for every child, for every human being, and one that emanates, that originates in the divine grace and embraces us as one human family. Please join us this evening, but also in the many programs that we have lined up as part of this day of prayer and action for children in finding the resolve and the strength to do more for all our children. It is a particular honor for the Arigato International family to be convening all of you from across the world in this important task of building a peaceful and a more united world for children. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Aram, for your wisdom and for your incredible support over the years to the World Day, and for speaking today on behalf of the World Day Planning Committee, and for grounding us in the values and this idea of shared responsibility that guide this global movement. It is now my honor to introduce Ms. Rosaria Isabel Correa, member of the United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child. Ms. Correa is a distinguished jurist and child rights advocate with more than 3 decades of work strengthening justice systems, promoting accountability, and protecting children in some of the region's most fragile contexts. Her leadership across academia, public service, and international human rights bodies has made her a respected champion of the Convention on the Rights of the Child in Latin America and beyond. Ms. Rosaria, thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the World Day of Prayer and Action for Children 2025. Over to you.
Muy buenos.
Rosaria,
Muy
perdón.
buenos días a todos y a todas. Un saludo especial a todos los niños y niñas y adolescentes que nos acompañan a través de esta plataforma virtual que nos permite acercarnos un poco. En primer lugar, dar las gracias por este día de oración por los niños, por la situación en la que nosotros estamos viviendo en estos momentos, como lo ha dicho la doctora que se vino, tenemos una crisis multidimensional, pero no perdemos la fe, la esperanza en tener siempre un mundo mejor, un mundo que podamos vivir en paz y un mundo en donde reine la libertad de religión y que se nos respete por nuestras creencias. Promover los derechos de los niños, las niñas y adolescentes no es solo una causa noble. La Convención nos llama a respetar, proteger, promover y garantizar los derechos reconocidos. Nos llama a cumplir, y cumplir significa rendir cuentas. Cada niño, cada niña y adolescente tiene derecho a no tener miedo, a vivir en familia, a vivir sin violencias, sin explotación, sin privaciones de su familia, sin privaciones de su comunidad, sin privaciones de los derechos a los que está obligado a respetar y a cumplir el Estado. Como se señala el preámbulo de la Convención de los Derechos del Niño, el niño, para el pleno y armonioso desarrollo de su personalidad, debe crecer en un ambiente de felicidad, amor y comprensión. Pero para garantizar esto, no basta con discursos, se requieren acciones concretas, como nos hace el llamado el día de hoy, esta actividad. Realmente, para garantizar estos derechos se requiere presupuestos, se requieren leyes adecuadas con sistemas que funcionen, con adultos y profesionales que respondan, que cumplan con su deber. La rendición de cuentas no es solo un tema de burocracia, es un tema de democracia y de justicia. Rendir cuentas se traduce a los niños, niñas y adolescentes en decirles, tu vida importa y estamos aquí para protegerlas con hechos, no solo con palabras. Es asumir cada omisión, cada silencio, cada promesa rota, puesto que esto tiene consecuencias reales y negativas. Cuando nosotros escuchamos a los niños, niñas y adolescentes, cuando le garantizamos su derecho a voz en las decisiones que les afectan, cuando les garantizamos el derecho a la participación auténtica y sin manipulación, es cuando estamos realmente restaurando el tejido social. Es cuando estamos reconstruyendo la confianza entre generaciones. Se reconoce que la compasión exige responsabilidad, que la justicia no se alcanza si no hay perdón, con restauración del daño, por supuesto. Hoy, a las puertas del 36º aniversario de la aprobación de la Convención de los Derechos del Niño, un 20 de noviembre de 1989, y en este Día Mundial de Oración y Acción por la Niñez, renovar la fe en los derechos en los niños, niñas y adolescentes significa exigir a los estados que sus derechos se cumplan. Significa que las familias, comunidades, líderes religiosos y gobiernos rindamos cuentas, porque cumplir con los derechos de los niños, niñas y adolescentes es garantizar la esperanza de un mundo en paz y tolerancia. Y defender sus derechos con coherencia es defender el presente y futuro de todos. La fe que no respeta la dignidad de los niños no honra a Dios ni a la humanidad. La fe que protege no impone, cuida, escucha y rinde cuentas, especialmente por los derechos humanos de los niños, niñas y adolescentes. Desde el Comité de los Derechos del Niño de Naciones Unidas, les mandamos un cordial saludo. En especial, quiero mandarle un saludo a los niños de mi región, América Latina y el Caribe. Realmente estamos trabajando para continuar con la labor que tiene este comité de supervisar el cumplimiento de la Convención de los Derechos del Niño, es decir, que los estados rindan cuenta en conjunto con la sociedad civil y ustedes, a los que queremos en el día de hoy escuchar. Por lo tanto, no me extiendo más porque venimos aquí a elevar una oración para que podamos realmente tener un mundo mejor y venimos a escuchar a los niños porque ellos son los reales protagonistas del cambio. Gracias.
Mil gracias. Thank you very, very much, Ms. Rosaria, for joining us today and for this very powerful and important message and how we can continue being responsible but also accountable for respecting, promoting, and protecting every children's rights. Now we move to a very special segment of this 1 hour event that we're hosting today. And this is a dialogue that is going to be youth-led and is exchanged to explore more about what keeping faith in children means in practice. And what a better way to explore it and do it, if not by children and young people themselves. Let's listen to them and allow me to introduce our moderators for today's dialogue. And they are Brian King, chairperson of Mtoto na Sheria in Kenya, and who leads also legal education initiatives that empower children to understand and advocate for their rights. And Mario Chip, an 18-year-old youth leader from Guatemala, and World Vision volunteer promoting peace, youth leadership, and community development. They are going to be joined by 3 remarkable child participants doing outstanding work at a local level, and they are Anthony from Ecuador, Laya from India, and Zaina from Jordan. Thank you, and over to you, Brian and Mario.
Thank you so much, Vanilla. I am just waiting for Mario to come in. We're so excited to be part of this conversation. This is supposed to be a very open dialogue, and me and Mario are going to be facilitating the conversation. I know Mario wanted to introduce the session, so I will allow him to start us off, and then we can continue from there on. Mario, over to you.
Un gusto. Para mí, buenos días. Para ustedes, creo que buenas tardes o al horario, buenas noches. Me siento muy feliz y emocionado porque por primera vez estoy cambiando de rol como moderador y no como niño. Quiero que este espacio nos permita reconocer cómo cada generación entiende y sueña. También que nos permita alzar la voz, porque yo siempre quiero ser un niño y quiero luchar contra todo lo que vivimos hoy en día. Hoy quiero invitarles a todos a que escuchen, aprendamos, reflexionemos. Y eso.
Yes, thank you so much, Mario. And yes, today's session is meant to answer one simple question. How do we keep faith in children in a world that has constantly, tried to betray their faith, their trust in the world, in us, in the system? How do we make sure that we keep faith in the children? And the conversation is meant to be very open-ended. Our amazing panelists, Anthony, Laya, and Zaina, are going to be helping us understand, as children, what do you guys feel? And also, as adults, what is the gap? My mom liked to tell me something every time when I was like super small, because I was the kind of kid who would always be asking for new things. She'd tell me that like prayer and faith without action is simply wishful thinking. And so that is why it's so important for us to also celebrate the important actions that we're taking all over the world to complement our prayers. I'm going to start by opening it up to the children. Remember, guys, the conversation is very simple. We want you guys to just engage. If you feel like you want to jump into a point, hey, just, feel free as soon as they're done, unmute your mic and go ahead. So I won't call anyone specific. I'll ask whoever wants to answer this question to just jump in. But what does keeping faith mean for you guys? What does keeping faith mean to you?
So hi everyone. To me, faith doesn't always have to be religious. Sometimes it's about giving or instilling a sense of faith in humanity in everyone. To give children reassurance that they have a safe space and they have people to go to when they're in need. So we go through a lot of things today, and we witness a lot of amazing things that children are capable of doing today. And the potential we witness from each and every child is mind-blowing. And it is always about reassuring the child that I am going to be there and making them feel included in the process of making the society an inclusive one as a whole. So I think when adults listen to children, children believe in themselves, and keeping faith in children matters a lot.
Amazing.
I
love
agree
that,
with
and I love that.
Leia.
Yeah, go ahead, Zaina. Go ahead.
To me, I believe that keeping faith in children, it means basically believing in us, believing in our strength, our creativity, and trusting our ability to actually make a difference in the world. And basically, knowing that our voices and our actions matter to adults, encouraging us and giving us space to grow and learn. That's how, like, you as adults, you can keep faith in us children by supporting our ideas and encouraging that there's hope in the future and standing by us. And to me, I feel like seeing children in war zones continue to care for each other, learn, and basically dream for a better future. It's a reminder of why we should keep believing in children and giving them space and believing that faith in children is so important for all of us.
All right. Mario, you want to comment on that and then invite Anthony to just jump in?
Sí, me gustó mucho ambas respuestas, porque por ejemplo, en lo de Laia dice el sentido de la humanidad, me encantó esto que utilizó, porque es muy cierto, el sentido de la humanidad influye mucho en nuestra fe. Los niños siempre son como de, si los adultos hacen esto, es porque esto es bueno, si los adultos hacen lo otro, es porque es bueno. Entonces creo que le aceptaron mucho a lo de la pregunta y lo que decía Zaina de creer. El creer ayuda un montón a aumentar la fe y no mantenerlos estancados en la poca fe que tenemos, sino de creer en que vamos a avanzar, de creer, por ejemplo, los niños en que, por ejemplo, tienen sueños, un montón de sueños, por ejemplo, tienen sueños de seguir estudiando, de superarse, y creen mucho en ellos y creo que le acertaron mucho a las respuestas.
Yeah, thank you, Mario. And Anthony, maybe you can come in and also talk to us about when, because like your strength in creativity has come out really strongly. Support from adults has come out really strongly, and you guys have also asked to be listened to. Anthony, is there a time that you felt either listened to, really properly or correctly by adults, or is there a time that you didn't feel listened to? Which of these instances would you want to share with us?
Buenos días, soy Anthony, soy de Ecuador. Primero, muy contento de verdad por ser parte de esta reunión, gracias por tomarnos en cuenta. Bueno, sí, para mí es algo muy importante, que me hace muy feliz, ya que los adultos nos saben escuchar a nosotros, los niños, los adolescentes, nos toman en cuenta y no nos dejan a un lado, o sea, siempre nos ayudan a superar. Y algo que para mí mantener la fe en los niños y niñas y adolescentes significa que es creer en su potencial, apoyarlos incondicionalmente y guiarles como por un desarrollo para que ellos sepan desarrollar la seguridad, la resiliencia y un propósito. Gracias.
Okay, I love that. I love that. I'm gonna throw around an open question again for all of you guys. Yeah, we want to understand the world as children feel it, as children live it. What are some of the biggest, like at this moment? What are some of the biggest children that are facing you guys, either on a global scale or even just on the community level? What are some of the big issues that you guys think should be highlighted? Anyone can jump in.
A mi punto de vista, uno de los problemas más grandes y la cual vivimos ahora es es la comunicación a través de los idiomas, ¿no? Entonces, cuando estamos en un espacio y no tenemos el idioma adecuado y sentimos que necesitamos hablar por otros chicos y yo siento que el problema es eso, ¿no? Que no podemos comunicarnos con claridad y poder resolver los problemas que ellos poseen.
So, what I feel is on a global scale, children from different regions face different problems, like from war zones to seeking refuge into another country. That puts your right to education, right to nutrition, everything at stake. So, in India, where I'm from, around 17% of children are affected by malnutrition, which is a big thing because when you are well fed and you are given the right education, you can do amazing things. And when you are not given those things, your standard of life goes down as well as your societies.
To me, as a child living in Jordan, I see and I think a lot about the kids living in nearby areas in the Middle East. So, to me, I believe that one of the biggest issues is conflict war in the region. Even if we're not living in war ourselves, we know that places like Gaza, they face daily fear. They face destroyed schools, they don't have homes anymore, and they're losing their family. So to me, it makes me reflect every day on how lucky we are to have safety, but it also makes me really worried about the children living near me. Another major issue to me is displacement because many children in Jordan are refugees from different areas or they live in families that had to leave their homes basically. And usually they face limited resources, difficulties in going to school, and seeing all these struggles, it reminds me of how important stability and support is to children.
I love that, and I love that we also brought in the global community. That even if we are not there, we can still feel and share in their struggle. Mario, would you want to comment on that as you introduce the next question? I think his video is off, so
Sí,
yes. Go ahead, Mario.
sí, perdón, es que
We have
la
6
señal
minutes
está
to close.
interfiriendo un poco,
Over to Mario.
entonces casi no escuché lo que dijeron y tuve que apagar la cámara para poder escuchar mejor, lo siento. Me encanta cómo cada uno de estos chicos menciona sobre todo lo que se vive, porque le atinan, le directan mucho a lo que se está, de lo que se está hablando, porque por ejemplo aquí en Guatemala, igual muchas familias, ahorita que hay mucha lluvia aquí en Guatemala, se están inundando todas las casas, las familias no saben qué hacer, están yéndose a albergues, están perdiendo todas sus cosas. De hecho, en casa ya pasó una vez justo el domingo, cumplí 18 años, me gradué y se inundaron todas las casas por donde yo vivo, se inundó nuestra casa, perdimos un montón de cosas y es como frustrante ver cómo los niños pasan por esto y nos gustaría, al menos a mí, que esto ya no volviera a pasar y me encantan todas las respuestas porque le acertan mucho a lo que se está viviendo, a lo que ellos ven y es
Yeah, thank you, Mario. I think because we're just about to close, maybe we can talk about action. We understand what the world is right now, but we understand that as children, we're not completely helpless too. We're in a time of hope, and this also means that sometimes we have to be leaders and we have to take control. So I'm gonna ask 3 questions, and hopefully you guys can respond to whichever one feels more comfortable or more relatable. Um, how can you guys as children show leadership in your own communities? And as you're showing leadership, what are some of the small actions that even children can take, for a better world? It's a day of prayer and action. Again, it's very open to everyone. Whoever wants to go first can unmute and go.
Okay, so I believe that every action that we do as children, it really does matter to our community. So we can take control by starting with small actions that actually do matter. Maybe supporting younger kids or speaking up when we see something wrong and helping each other and educating each other. And to me, I believe that it can also be the basically the parents or the adults' jobs to tell their children not everything, but tell them about what's happening in the world around them so children can be educated and be motivated to take action. And even if it's something simple like listening to each other or showing kindness or maybe checking up on a friend that's going through something bad, it can still have a big effect on our community. And when adults notice and support what we do, it can give us more confidence to act. So we don't have to do huge things to make a difference, but every small action does matter.
Every small action does matter. Lovely. Do you guys want to add on?
So yes, I completely agree with what Zaina said. Every small action matters. So it can be as small as taking leadership roles in your school or your communities, which can give you a lot of exposure as you grow older. And that makes you a better person, eventually listening to people and finding empathy and being sympathetic to others. And I would also agree to what Zaina said, sharing awareness, knowing, sharing what you know to others and helping them go through a hard, if they're going through a hard time, help them with what you know. So yes, that would be my answer.
Okay, Anthony, I'm gonna invite you because Mary is gonna be closing fast. Maybe you can add on to that as well.
Claro, sí. También para poder mantener un liderazgo para los niños es ser un modelo a seguir. Los niños aprenden, hoy en día normalmente aprenden más por lo que ven que por lo que escuchan. Para eso también debemos mostrarles lo que es el respeto, la calma y la responsabilidad. Y cumplir con lo que ellos dicen, ¿no? Imitando con coherencia. Para esto también hay que comunicarse con mucha claridad. Porque como les digo, ellos usan instrucciones simples y explican el porqué de las cosas. Para ello también se necesita tener un espacio abierto para que ellos también puedan expandir sus dudas y poder, nosotros como líder poder explicarlas.
Thank you
Gracias,
for
Anthony.
that. Yes, Mario. Oh yeah, before I hand over to Mario, because I think he's just about to conclude our conversation. I have to say, you guys are doing amazing, and I'm so happy that we got to reconnect about this. And let's keep the conversation going. Share it with your friends, even outside the space and forum. Mario, feel free to close off the session for us.
Bueno, primero, gracias a todos, porque esto ha sido como muy emocionante, aprendimos un montón, conocimos un montón más a fondo de lo que viven todos los niños. Quiero agradecerle a Zaina, Laia y Anthony por haber aceptado esta invitación. Igual a ti, Brian, por compartir esto. Es para mí un privilegio estar aquí contigo, moderando esta pequeña conversación. Un abrazo a todos y otra vez muchas gracias. Gracias por la oportunidad y eso sería todo.
Thank you so much, Brian, Mario, Laia, Anthony, and Zaina, for your very inspiring conversation today. But I think powerful messages too, right? So this is really about, like leadership. It is about every small does matter. This is about the consciousness and how opportunities we can leverage locally and build on children's participation and voices. So this is a message for all of our audience to really continue committed and like supporting children's participation. Thank you all for joining and for the wonderful conversation. Now we turn into our next segment, highlighting grassroots leadership from around the world. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Eleonora Mura, Arigato International's Head of Partnerships and Organizational Development. Eleonora is an international development specialist, trainer, curriculum designer, and author of multiple publications for UNESCO and Arigato on transformative pedagogy, peace building, and resilience. She will moderate the next segment with World Day Champions. Over to you, Eleonora.
Thank you very much, Ornella, and please let me begin with thanking Laia, Anthony, Zaina, Mario, and Brian for the exceptional inspiration they gave to us. And this segment hopefully will build up to your expectations in terms, as you said, of giving reassurance and spaces for children so that they feel included but also in terms of trusting children and allowing leadership roles for children in their context. And it was very much with this spirit that Arigato International had really launched the World Day Champions. And so we will hear today from some of our champions in the different regions that are really very much trying to embed the vision that you described to us, and also that they are trying, as Mario said, to role model also these opportunities and behavior for other children and also for other organizations. So I will like now to get us started. And very much really reflecting on how communities can be transformed, and really also responding to your recommendations, how every small action matters, and how really leadership in school and communities and responding to the dreams of children can be change making and transformation initiatives at the grassroots. So first of all, I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Manoy Ram from Nepal. He is a renowned social activist and the president of Peace for Dalits Foundation. He has dedicated over 15 years in advocating for Dalit and other marginalized communities, and he will share with us for 3 to 4 minutes about really how these initiatives are helping children's rights in his communities, but also how they are helping to really fulfill this vision of having faith in children. So, Mr. Manoj, the floor is yours. Manoj, can you hear us?
He's experiencing technical issues, so perhaps let me follow up bilaterally.
Yes, thank you, Ornella. So we will hear from Manoj a little bit later on. In the meanwhile, I'm also very happy to welcome Mrs. Teresa de Jesus Castellanos from Mexico. Teresa is a family educator and also a consultant in human development and the director of the International Foundation for Family, Education and Peace in Mexico. So Teresa, really just some ideas and some inspiration of how the initiatives are helping to protect and promote their children's rights, but also if I can invite you also to respond to the challenges in a way that Anthony, Laia, and also Brian, Mario, and Zaina have launched us. Over to you, Teresa.
Muchísimas gracias, Eleonora. Un gusto estar con ustedes esta mañana. De verdad que me encanta escucharlos a nuestros niños y adolescentes. Ha sido muy enriquecedor. Creo que todas las iniciativas que integran México a esta red de GNRC a la que represento ha sido un trabajo desde la diversidad de los organismos que tenemos, de gran compromiso y gran reto, ¿no? Como no lo han mencionado ustedes. Destaco varias palabras que creo que desde nuestras actividades tratamos de cubrir para incentivar la participación, para proteger sus derechos y para promover estos espacios, ¿no? En los que ustedes puedan hablar. Mencionaban palabras clave: gratitud, ayuda, tomar acción, educar, escuchar, amabilidad, pero hay una que me encantó que dijo Anthony: aprenden lo que ven. Entonces, desde nuestros espacios es encontrar esa forma en la que desde los adultos podamos ser esa guía que estas iniciativas buscan para que ustedes encuentren esos lugares seguros para poder desarrollar su niñez, su adolescencia. Y tenemos este compromiso. ¿Qué retos? Desde garantizar su desarrollo integral, fomentar la igualdad y la justicia, construir comunidades solidarias, que se refuerce la protección de sus derechos, no solo el conocimiento, sino la vivencia de los mismos. Y sumamente importante, que no olvidemos palabras claves: confianza, humanidad y paz, ¿no? Que es ese llamado que entre lo que ustedes estuvieron compartiendo urge. Hablo de desde un país que ustedes también sabrán, nos ha estado bombardeando la inseguridad, la violencia desde los hogares, la violencia en las calles. Actualmente estoy en uno de los estados más violentos a nivel internacional, donde cotidianamente nuestros niños se enfrentan ante el crimen organizado, situaciones en las que más allá no solo de la parte de los fenómenos naturales, también a veces la misma humanidad los hace perder la esperanza, pero a su vez los hace tomar acción. Y son un ejemplo donde nos invitan a los adultos a orar y trabajar. Hay una frase que me encanta que es ora et labora, es decir, hoy oramos por ustedes, pero hoy decidimos también seguir trabajando por ustedes, porque son ese motor que hace que todas las iniciativas, no solo en México, sino en el mundo, tengan y pongan ese corazón que nos hace trabajar día a día con entusiasmo y mano a mano con ustedes.
Thank you very much, Teresa. I think this is very much a beautiful reminder, and I also want to connect with what Venus said at the opening, reminding us of the power of silence as also somehow the strength of silence and the truth. And then yet you are reminding also us about the power of words when we decide the words to speak, which are these words and how these words are inspired by confidence, by humanity, and by peace, because indeed we know how important words are, how they can have a constructive and transformative power, but at the same time, how they can also be destructive and maybe also sharing disinformation and contributing to discrimination. So how do we balance then in our orat elaborat, in our prayer and in our work, the power of silence, the power of words, but also how do we build alliances to support families and religious institutions in the education of children? Because we do know that there are also other forces that are contributing to the education of children. So how can we very much build these communities with enthusiasm and responding to the call of the child and creating those spaces for participation? And I think we also know best that children learn best by peer learning when they are really between their peers and learning by example, as Anthony said. So thank you very much for this inspiration. And then I want to move continents now and go to Mr. Vijay Gopal from India. Vijay has a long experience working with youth and children. At the moment, he is the head of the Youth Leadership Program at Shanti Ashram, and he works with really a variety of very diverse partners in India. He is an ethics educator and master trainer. Vijay, I know you very much work at the intersection of education and working with families, intergenerational dialogue. So how is this work really being testified from India? And also, what are your comments to the challenges that the children pose to us today as a community? Vijay, over to you.
Thank you, Eleonora, for this wonderful opportunity. I would like to thank Teresa and also the children. They explained and they shared from their thoughts, and also their expectations are very deep. So I'm Vijay Raghavan. I bring the greetings and prayers from Shanti Ashram from Coimbatore, India. I'm glad to be part of this World Day of Prayer and Action for Children. This marks my 15th year of collaboration with Arigato International and DPAC team. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Listening to the children just now reminded me of something simple and true. Children speak truth without fear and carry hope without hesitation. If we listen, they tell us the kind of world they want. A world of dignity, safety, and belonging. That beliefs is the heartbeat of our work. At Shanti Ashram, every program begins with the conviction that every child matters. Not as a beneficiary, but but as a partner in building peace. Let me reflect briefly on the Journey for Unity, one of the flagship initiative of Shanti Ashram. For many years, on a single day, children from different faiths and neighborhoods walked together into 5 places of worship: temples, church, mosque, and gurudwara. We don't do this to teach tolerance. Children already know how to live together. We do it so they can remind us, the adults, what unity truly looks like. After one journey, a girl told us, I used to fear other religions because of what I saw online and social media. Today I realized every faith teaches love, respect, empathy, and unity. Now I will respect all religions. Her words are very small and devastatingly powerful. In a time of misinformation and mistrust, a child meeting the other can begin to rebuild the fractured trust in our communities. Faith leaders make this possible by opening their sacred spaces, answering children's questions, each and every questions with humility, and treating them as equals. Places of worship become centers of learning and protection, not merely places of prayer. This in particular initiative, the initiative is Intergenerational Spirit Matters too. Each year, nearly 100 children and 20 to 30 young volunteers walk side by side for learning, listening, and leading together. This is how communities are strengthened from within. So my reflection is very simple. Centering children in faith-based action is not idealism. It is wisdom. Children which divides, adults cannot. Children which divides, adults cannot. Restore our sad humanity and show us how to rebuild trust. Today, I invite the faith leaders and communities here. Open your doors to children's leadership. Give them space to speak, to meet, and to lead. If we walk with them, we walk toward peace. If we walk with them, we walk towards peace. For over 5 decades, Shanti Ashram has lived this truth. Each year, 100,000 children remind us that faith lived with compassion can be one of the world's strongest forces for protection and peace. I would like to conclude my reflection with the Mahatma Gandhi's wonderful quote. I offer your peace. I offer your love. I offer your friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your need. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Vijay. And I think thank you also for bringing this dimension of trust in children and trust in humanity very much at the individual dimension. And this beauty of promoting the culture of encounter, entering these spaces in the community and really allowing this exploration with an open mind, an open heart, and allowing ourselves and the children to feel the feelings. So thank you for this, as you said, very simple but very wise word that also show us how to do things. Because sometimes we think interfaith dialogue, interfaith encounters, how to do, where to start, and you gave us a very practical path of what this can look like at the community level. Thank you so much, Vijay. I think, Mr. Menoj, you are now online, I believe. Can we hear each other? Mr. Menoj? from Nepal. Yes,
Hello,
we see you.
Namaste. I am
Hello,
Manoj from Nepal country.
good
Peace for the
evening.
Foundation Nepal, CC President. I am happy each program. Thank you. Join us. Uh, I am more happy. Our uh, foundation in Nepal, Dalit committee, so that you are Nepal discrimination and children, Dalit students are discriminated against and discriminate against not only our village but also is the a school they are attend non-Dalit friend on only despise and discrimination against. You are do children work. Our our NGO you have uh, 5,000 children. You have run a committee, uh, free tuition and learning improved center. We have uh, 1,000 children are with us. They are in our center. Uh, we do work for the children. Our tuition center, Peace for Dalit Foundation, Nepal, tuition center, uh, uh, Nepal initiated the committee free tuition classes and learning improvement center with the aim of the educational foundation of education from Dalit. Dalit means uncharitability committee, Majlite committee in the Nepal. Many children, their community, we feeling behind their study due to economics, difficult household responsibility, limited educational support from parent, and inadequate learning time at school. A student study, especially in the government school, you are experience and growing learning gap in core subjects such and mathematics, English, science, and Nepali. To address these challenges, the foundation launches free tuition classes that provide regular practice, homework, support, and conductive learning environment outside of the school hour. The program is operated through committee participation, volunteer teachers, and the foundation internal resources. It has been uh, contributing to the extending educational awareness within the committee and creating supporting environment their children can continue learning center so that you have uh, 5,000 children. Their children and poor Majlite committee. Nepal have more discrimination in our Nepal country for the Dalit children's uh, Dalit have more discrimination in the education and other rights, and that girl are unable to participate in program outside the home, children club, and various school program duty hold court, not access Dalit committee, and uh, uh, disability who cannot leave the house, and even they reach a school, the school does not allow the to participate extracurricular activities. Dalit Madesi uh, Kamaiya and Dalit, Muslim committee, GROL, disability and GROL for gender and sexual minority committee should be considered in the Majlite committee since the law and regulation or children rights and other law have not clearly defined children as Majlite committee in the becoming difficult for the children for Majlite committees to be educated, healthy, protected and free from voiceless and abuse. He said his as campaigning which should be launched across the country to being the voice of the Mujahid committee grow into main seat in the Nepal. He said that people and our children, Dalit and Mujahid committee uh, children also face discrimination. Um, Discrimination in the some from in the and schools. Although the student study in urban and private school as not uh, whereas and caste discrimination. Dalit and Majlite committee children in the committee school remote area in the rural area are discrimination Accountability against in the school on the base of the case religion, class, social exclusion, economics, status and physical education. Children
Thank
from our community also need the social development. We do have to become role model of the society. Our committee is not even aware, aware of the program, hold the WADA for Dalit, the disability, uh, intersex, Majority committee and children. So that you are
thank
started,
you.
uh, so that you are started uh, a center, Peace Dalit Foundation Nepal started tuition center. Uh, you are achievement of the tuition classes considered by Peace Dalit Foundation improved in the academic performance. Students have shown consistent academic process. Mark have improved in the key object such as mathematics, science, and English. Regular practice has uh,
Improve.
student homework and completion, complexion and the study habit. Increased confident in the learning. Students have become more confident in asking question and experiences themselves and going the school.
Thank
School is a
you.
regularity. Here the hesitation toward learning have uh, record a better school attends and displays disciplines uh, a
Yes.
better school attendance. Our work. Regular participant in the tuition classes has improved student school attendance, uh, time management, discipline, and responsibility have also improved and inherent potent engagement. Parent has become more involution and wants their children education coordinate among. Thank you. Uh,
Thank
thank you. We have not more time, so that thank you. And last, I am saying say our Peace Dalit Foundation Nepal work the Nepal country, poor country, Dalits committee, Majority committee for the free tuition classes. Uh, Committee free tuition and learning uh, classes center. We
you
have
so much
do
for this
five.
very important initiative.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Thank you.
And definitely, you can also drop a line in the chats. I see people will be also excited to learn more. And Mr. Manoj, these initiatives are, I think, a direct response to the appeal from Laia when we opened today, calling for places where children can be reassured, feel included and listened to. And I think what Dalits Foundation, Peace for Dalits Foundation in Nepal is exactly creating those safe spaces for inclusion, reassurance, and also for contributing to quality education for marginalized children. So thank you for sharing with us today, and please add also notes and additional links in the chat so participants can also learn more, as we had to cut short. Before we finish this segment, we also happy to hear the voices of Luna and Naima from Comoros that have implemented a child-led project of unity and healing in their community. So please launch the video. They couldn't be with us today as they are studying, but they have sent us their testimonies.
Assalamu alaikum. Je m'appelle Ishfaluna Hakim Saidim Chandama, j'ai 17 ans et je viens du quartier de Magoudou. J'ai eu la chance de participer au Forum international des droits de l'enfant à Abu Dhabi. Cette expérience a été très importante pour moi parce qu'elle m'a montré à quel point la voix des enfants et des jeunes peut avoir un vrai impact. Là-bas, j'ai compris que la paix se construit d'abord avec l'écoute, le dialogue et le raisonnement. J'ai 17 ans et nous avons mené un projet dans mon quartier que nous avons appelé Restauration de la paix à Magoudou. Dans notre communauté, 2 parties du village ne se parlaient plus depuis longtemps. Nous avons décidé, en tant que jeunes, de nous engager pour recréer du lien. Ce projet nous a permis d'ouvrir des portes, des discussions, de rapprocher les gens et de redonner de la confiance entre les 2 groupes. Pour moi, garder foi en l'enfant, c'est croire que les jeunes ont la capacité de rassembler et de changer les choses. Je suis convaincue que nous pouvons être des ponts entre les personnes, même dans les moments difficiles. Les valeurs qui me tiennent le plus à cœur sont la paix, la cohésion sociale et la communauté. Ce sont des valeurs essentielles pour vivre ensemble, se comprendre et avancer. Je crois profondément que lorsque les jeunes ont la possibilité de s'exprimer, ils deviennent des acteurs du changement. Ils peuvent construire une société plus juste, plus unie et pleine d'espoir. Et je suis fière de contribuer à mon niveau à cette vision d'un avenir meilleur. Merci de m'avoir écouté.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Naïma Maïfli. Je fais partie du bureau de l'ONGCAP et je suis l'encadreuse des jeunes et des enfants qui ont participé au projet pour la paix. Avec l'équipe, on a d'abord sélectionné un groupe de jeunes et d'enfants motivés qui sont partis à la rencontre des membres de leur communauté pour discuter, échanger et surtout sensibiliser sur l'importance du vivre ensemble et du dialogue, de la réconciliation, surtout dans les situations de conflit. Ce genre de projet, porté par les jeunes et les enfants eux-mêmes, est vraiment important. Il permet de construire une vraie culture de la paix, de renforcer une cohésion sociale et de montrer qu'on peut tous vivre ensemble malgré nos différences. Au nom de l'ONGCAP, des jeunes et des enfants impliqués, je tiens à remercier Arigato International JNRC de nous avoir permis et donné la chance de participer au concours We Are My Choose 2024. Le fait d'avoir gagné ce concours nous donne encore plus de force et de courage pour continuer à travailler pour la paix dans nos communautés. Merci.
So thank you very much to Luna and Naima for really, again, bringing us a very concrete example of how to heal and build community dialogue and intergenerational dialogue, and how children can be very much wiser than adults and can actually participate to those encounters and really very much leave behind the barrier and cleavages that very often adults have created. I think I thank you all the panelists and all the children for having inspired us, and I get the floor back to Ornella. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you everyone for this very inspiring also dialogue and especially the wonderful work that communities are doing and faith actors are really undertaking at the grassroots. This is what the World Day is about. This is what we also wanted to highlight together with the World Day planning committee members, and we are reaching the end of this very interesting and inspiring gathering today. So thank you to everyone who connected with us today and who stayed until now from around the world. We hope this gathering has inspired you to continue advancing children's rights and well-being in your own communities. And as we mark World Children's Day, we invite you to join in prayer and action and to share your initiatives with us so that we can amplify this global movement. Please join us again tomorrow, because tomorrow, November the 20th, we are hosting an interfaith service for children in war. And on November 26th, for the Interfaith Dialogue on Children's Rights and Dignity. Wishing each of you peace, courage, and renewed commitment in your work for and with children. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.